Imagine for a moment, a power so vast, so ancient, that it predates religion itself. A power whispered about in temples, guarded in secret scrolls, and hidden within the breath of enlightened beings. It is said that the true masters of Tantra possessed a force that could bend reality, a living current of divine energy that could awaken dormant parts of the human soul. But somewhere along the line, something happened. This sacred knowledge was buried, diluted into rituals, misunderstood as mere sensual practice or dismissed as taboo. Yet behind the veil of myth and misconception lies the real Tantra, a science of vibration, consciousness, and divine union. Welcome to Esoteric Glyph, where ancient wisdom meets modern awakening. If you're new here, take a moment, subscribe, and step with us into the forgotten corridors of history. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to uncover what the ancient Tantric Masters truly knew, and why the world was never meant to see their full power. Tantra is not what most people think it is. It is not just about desire, nor about physical intimacy, it is about energy mastery. The ancient adepts believed that within every human being lies a coiled serpent of energy, Kundalini, the divine spark waiting to awaken. When guided properly, it can expand consciousness beyond the limits of the body, dissolve fear, and connect one directly to the rhythm of the cosmos itself. But here's the untold truth. The original Tantric Masters, hidden deep in the Himalayas, Tibet, and southern India, were not ordinary mystics. They were vibrational scientists. They understood that the body, the mind, and even reality itself were just frequencies, vibrations dancing within an invisible field of energy. Through breath, sound, and sacred union, they could tune these vibrations, alter their reality, and access dimensions unseen by the ordinary human eye. This was the real law of vibration, not as a theory but as a lived, breathing experience. And it terrified the rulers of the old world. Because whoever mastered vibration, mastered creation. Over the next few moments, you'll journey with me through ancient scrolls, forbidden rituals, and forgotten temples. You'll discover why the masters of Tantra were revered and feared, and how their knowledge connects to what modern quantum physics is only now beginning to rediscover. So take a deep breath, slowly. Because this story isn't just about them, it's about you. About the divine power sleeping within you, the one that vibrates with the heartbeat of the universe. Stay with me until the end, and you'll understand why the Tantric Masters believed enlightenment was not found in escape from the world, but in merging completely with it. Welcome to the hidden secrets of Tantric Masters, the power they never taught the world. To understand the secrets of Tantra, we must journey far beyond the pages of modern interpretations, back into the mists of forgotten ages, where wisdom was transmitted not through books, but through vibration, symbol, and silence. Long before the rise of organized religion, before prophets and temples, before even the first scripts of Sanskrit were carved into stone, there existed a lineage of mystics known simply as the Masters of the Hidden Fire. They were not bound to one land or language. Fragments of their knowledge echo through the Himalayas, the deserts of Egypt, the mountains of Tibet, and the valleys of ancient Dravidian India. Their teaching was simple, yet infinite. All is vibration. All is union. All is energy becoming aware of itself. It was from this primordial understanding that Tantra emerged, not as a religion but as a sacred science of existence. While the Western world divided spirit and matter, heaven and earth, Tantra saw no such separation. To the ancient adepts, divinity was not above life. It was life, pulsing within every breath, heartbeat, and atom. The word Tantra itself comes from the Sanskrit roots tan, meaning to expand, and tra meaning instrument or tool. Thus, Tantra literally means the instrument of expansion. It was a path designed to expand consciousness beyond limitation, to weave the threads of the visible and the invisible into one divine fabric. But this knowledge was not meant for the unprepared. The early Tantric scriptures, the Agamas and Tantras, were written in symbolic codes, metaphors, and sacred geometry. Only those who had undergone deep purification of the mind and body were allowed to receive them. Why? Because the power they contained was immense, the kind that could heal or destroy, awaken or corrupt, depending on the purity of the one who wielded it. In the ancient temples of Kashi, Ellora, and Tibet, initiates learned to harness the inner currents of energy that flowed through the human body, the nadis and chakras. They discovered that by controlling breath, sound, and awareness, they could shift the frequency of their very being. The body became a sacred laboratory. Every motion, every breath, every sound was a vibration, and through mastering these vibrations they could pierce the veil between the physical and the divine. This was not mysticism alone, it was a metaphysical technology. While Western science was centuries away from understanding atomic vibration or quantum fields, the Tantric adepts already taught that matter was only condensed energy, that form was simply light slowed into solidity. So why was this wisdom hidden? Because power, true power, threatens control. As kingdoms rose and religious dogmas took hold, Tantra's unfiltered truth became dangerous. It taught liberation not through blind obedience, but through direct experience, the realization that divinity was not outside you but within you. And for those who ruled through fear and doctrine, that was intolerable. Texts were burned. Teachers silenced. In time, what survived of Tantra became shrouded in secrecy, passed from master to disciple through whispers in the dark, veiled behind rituals that outsiders could not comprehend. Yet, fragments of this cosmic science survived, in the temples of South India, in the chants of Tibetan monks, and in the guarded oral traditions of Himalayan mystics. Even today the great adepts, the Siddhas and the Naths, speak of an ancient current that flows beneath all of existence, the nada, the soundless sound. They say that whoever can hear this vibration, not with the ears but with the soul, can reshape reality itself. In our modern world, this wisdom seems distant, yet it quietly re-emerges, in quantum physics, in neuroscience, in the growing understanding that thought, emotion and matter are not separate. Perhaps, unknowingly, science is rediscovering what the Tantric Masters always knew, that the universe is a living tapestry of vibration, and that consciousness is the loom upon which it is woven. So as we step deeper into this hidden doctrine, remember this. Tantra is not about escaping the world, it is about awakening within it. And those who mastered its secrets didn't worship gods outside themselves, they became gods of their own inner universe. Close your eyes for a moment, and imagine your body not as flesh and bone, but as a symphony of light, countless vibrations moving through a grand design. Every thought, every heartbeat, every breath, a note within the cosmic orchestra of existence. This is where the true Tantra begins. The Tantric Masters taught that the universe is not made of matter, it is made of vibration. Everything you see, feel, and experience is energy oscillating at different frequencies. Solid matter? Merely slowed down energy. Light? Energy in motion. Thoughts? Energy that vibrates faster than the eye can perceive. And at the center of this vast dance of frequencies lies the most sacred force of all, consciousness. To the adepts, consciousness was not something inside the brain, it was the fabric of the cosmos itself, the field from which all vibration emerges. You are not a body having a vibration, you are vibration, temporarily experiencing itself as a body. Subtle cosmic tone hums, a deep drone beneath the narration. Within the human being, this vibrational field flows through thousands of invisible channels known as nadis. At key intersections of these channels lie the chakras, spinning vortexes of subtle energy that act as bridges between the physical and the spiritual planes. Each chakra vibrates at a specific frequency, resonating with colors, sounds, and emotions. When these centers are balanced, the body becomes a perfect instrument, capable of harmonizing with the higher vibrations of the universe. But when blocked or distorted, the inner music becomes chaotic and life falls out of rhythm. The ancient Tantrics saw this imbalance not as sin, but as disharmony. Their path was not about guilt or punishment, it was about retuning the self to the original frequency of creation. The Masters taught that at the base of the spine lies a dormant current of divine energy known as Kundalini, the serpent fire. In its sleeping state, it rests coiled 3.5 times, awaiting the call of awakening. Through specific breathwork, sound vibration mantra, and meditative focus dhyana, this energy can rise, traveling through each chakra, activating, purifying, and transforming the seeker. When Kundalini reaches the crown of the head, the Sahasrara, the illusion of separation dissolves. The individual consciousness merges with the cosmic consciousness. The wave returns to the ocean. This is what the sages called samadhi, the supreme union, not a theory but a direct, experiential knowing that you are the universe aware of itself. But what makes Tantra so unique is how it treats the world itself. Unlike other paths that renounce physical existence, Tantra embraces it. It does not reject desire, sensation, or form. Instead, it seeks to spiritualize them. Because to the Tantric Master, every vibration, from the densest stone to the purest light, is part of the divine spectrum. They saw creation as the dance of Shiva and Shakti, consciousness and energy in eternal union. Shiva, the still awareness, Shakti, the moving vibration. Neither can exist without the other. Together, they form the rhythm of existence itself, the heartbeat of the cosmos. In this cosmic dance, everything is sacred. Eating becomes meditation. Breathing becomes prayer. Even touch, when guided by awareness, becomes a doorway to the infinite. This was the secret that the ancient priests and kings feared. Tantra showed that enlightenment was not confined to mountaintops or monasteries. It could happen in the marketplace, in the temple, in the home, in the pulse of everyday life. But the deeper truth goes even further. Tantra teaches that vibration can create and alter reality itself. Every word, every sound, every emotion carries a frequency that shapes the energy field around you. The masters demonstrated that with pure intent and focused vibration, one could influence weather, heal the sick, or even manifest physical change. Sound familiar? Modern physics now whispers a similar truth, that energy responds to observation, that intention shapes probability, that everything is waves of potential waiting for a conscious observer to define them. The ancient tantrics already knew this, not through equations but through experience. They became the observers who shaped their reality, living proof that consciousness, when harmonized with vibration, becomes divine creativity. So the next time you chant a mantra or even speak a word, remember this. You are not merely using sound, you are directing vibration. You are engaging with the very code of creation. And through awareness, you have the power to shift your reality's frequency. This was the true Tantra. A path not of escape but of mastery. A remembrance that your body is not a prison. It is a temple of vibration, a sacred conduit between the visible and the invisible. They say that truth, when revealed too soon, can destroy the unready mind. Perhaps that is why the ancient Tantric Masters hid their greatest secrets, not to hoard power but to protect consciousness from its own blindness. For in the higher levels of Tantra, energy was not merely awakened, it was commanded. You see, most people live as prisoners of vibration, unconsciously reacting to the frequencies that shape their lives. But the masters, they became architects of vibration. They discovered that by merging intention, emotion, and breath into perfect alignment, they could enter a state where their very thoughts resonated with cosmic law. In this state, reality itself bent around their awareness. They called this siddhi, divine mastery, the power born not from dominance but from deep resonance. One of the most secret tantric teachings spoke of spanda, the pulse of divine vibration that exists before form takes shape. In meditation, when the mind becomes utterly still, one can sense this pulse, not as sound but as the vibration of being itself. From that pulse, reality begins to ripple outward, like concentric waves born from a single drop of awareness. And here lies the mystery. Whoever can touch that original vibration, the spanda, can consciously participate in creation. They can shift the patterns of existence from within, altering events, timelines, even karmic outcomes. To most this sounded like myth. But to the initiated, it was a science of consciousness, a metaphysical art that united the microcosm with the macrocosm. The human body became a living model of the universe, the chakras reflecting cosmic centers, the breath mirroring the universal rhythm, the heart echoing the pulse of creation. Through specific sound vibrations, known as mantras, and sacred geometric postures, called mudras, the masters could shift between dimensions of awareness. They taught that every sound, when uttered with precise tone and awareness, could awaken dormant codes within the body. A mantra was not merely a chant, it was a key. Each syllable corresponded to a vibrational gate in the subtle body, unlocking energy flows that could heal, transform, or elevate consciousness. Yet, the true power of mantra did not lie in pronunciation, it lay in intention. Because intention, the focused will of consciousness, is vibration in its purest form. This is what later mystics meant when they said, the word was God. Sound, vibration, consciousness, creation, they are one continuum. There were also teachings the public never saw. Hidden tantras, passed only through silent transmission, eye to eye, heart to heart, between guru and disciple. They described the process of merging one's energy with the cosmic current itself, achieving a state beyond form and identity. It was said that in this sacred union, the adept could step outside of linear time, perceiving past, present, and future as one continuous vibration. This was the level of mastery the ancient texts called Mahasiddha, the great accomplished one. Men and women who, through discipline and devotion, transcended human limitation. They could heal without touch, manifest without desire, travel without movement, because they had realized that the universe did not surround them, it was them. And yet, the world was not ready. As kingdoms rose and political empires flourished, the power of consciousness became a threat. Rulers feared any system that made people self-sovereign, aware of their inner divinity. So Tantra was branded as dangerous, immoral, heretical. The sensual imagery of its rituals was twisted into scandal, while its spiritual science was buried beneath centuries of misunderstanding. The priests replaced vibration with dogma. The mystics became outcasts, and humanity slowly forgot that it once held the blueprint to reshape reality itself. But truth cannot die. It only waits, hidden in symbols and mantras, in the silent hum behind every heartbeat. Even today, when you close your eyes and listen deeply enough, you can hear it, the same ancient vibration that the masters once heard echoing through their souls. The nada, the unstruck sound, the eternal frequency that has been singing since the dawn of creation. It is the song of existence, the hum of consciousness remembering itself. And here lies the paradox. The Tantric Masters did not seek power to control reality. They sought power to merge with it, to dissolve the illusion of separation, to become the vibration itself. In that merging, the seeker becomes creator and creation, sound and silence, wave and ocean, all at once. That is the mystery they never taught the world because it cannot be taught, it can only be remembered. In the next part, we'll explore how you can begin to experience this truth, not as philosophy but as living practice. How to awaken your own energy, align with the universal frequency, and touch the vibration that breathes through everything. The hidden power of Tantra was never lost, it's waiting within you. When the ancient teachings of Tantra crossed the oceans into the West, something changed. What had once been a sacred science of consciousness was repackaged, commercialized, and turned into a shadow of its true self. By the late 19th century, Western explorers and colonial scholars began uncovering fragments of India's spiritual texts. But rather than understanding Tantra's deep symbolism, they filtered it through their own desires and cultural fears. To them, Tantra wasn't a system of enlightenment, it was exotic, dangerous, and sensual. And so, the sacred art of union, the merging of Shiva and Shakti, consciousness and energy, was reduced to the language of lust. The Western mind, trapped in duality, saw only the surface of the serpent, never the light it carried within. Books were written, workshops emerged, and soon the word Tantra became synonymous with forbidden pleasure. Yet the true masters, the lineage holders in the East, remained silent. Because they knew, the uninitiated could never grasp the essence of Tantra through desire alone. Real Tantra is not indulgence, it's transcendence through awareness. It is not the worship of the body, it's the realization that the body is divine energy in motion. It is not about escaping pain through pleasure, it's about embracing both to awaken pure consciousness. But here lies the deeper tragedy. When Tantra became corrupted, humanity lost one of its greatest bridges to spiritual awakening. The West took the flower, but not the root. The ritual, but not the vibration. The form, but not the frequency. The real masters knew that every human interaction, every touch, every breath, was a chance to raise vibration, to awaken the sleeping serpent of divine energy and merge with the universal current. But to do that, one had to dissolve the ego completely. An ego does not sell well in a marketplace of pleasure. So the question remains, if the true Tantra was never about indulgence, what was its ultimate goal? And what secret knowledge did the Tantric adepts protect so fiercely, that even now modern science is only beginning to rediscover its truth?